Yes, everybody, welcome back to the West Ham Network. We are through to a quarter-final. You've not just got me, you've got this man who's buzzing because he's buzzing for loads of reasons. He's got another child. He's got lack of sleep, and he's buzzing because he gets to go see another European side, and he never thought he would.
Oh, mate, honestly. Oh, dear. I want to make kudos my child, to be honest with you.
Mate, a quarter... Right, listen. We're in the quarterfinals European competition for the third successive season, mate.
Yep. I know. It's incredible.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's incredible, mate.
5 more years for Moyes, mate.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah.
Hold on a second. Sorry, Joey's touched. Okay, we've got an issue. We have an issue. We have a family issue here. No, we don't. Sorry, we don't. We're back. That's what happens. That's what happens in early kickoff, Dan. Kids are everywhere.
Nightmare, isn't it?
Dan, mate, we all knew when the minute you saw that team lineup that something was going to be different tonight.
Yeah, but look, I say this all the time, mate. If he just lines up with that in mind, going for it, no one would moan. If we played like that every week, no one would moan. Win, lose or draw, no one would moan. And this is why I don't understand the inconsistencies of the performances that we've seen this season. With early on in the season, we had that nice stretch where we picked up some great results. Then we had the period in February that was shit, like from Christmas to February. And now he goes and pulls that off tonight. I don't know, mate. It's a weird one with Moyes. We'll never be able to work the man out. I think that's part of the intrigue with the man, to be honest with you, is that none of us can really work him out. But the one thing I'll say for Moyes is that when it comes to European football, the bloke knows how to get it done.
It's unbelievable, mate.
Because in the 3 years that we've had European football, I think he's only lost 4 or 5 games. So, it's an outstanding record that the bloke's got. He knows how to this European knockout football. He knows how to get the job done. I will give him that.
And like you said, though, this is like taking it over the course of 3 consecutive seasons. So we've been beaten. What you said, 4 or 5 times in total.
I'm pretty sure.
If you collate the games, that it tallies up into crazy amount of games, and it is a massive achievement. It's something you can't underlie. I don't want to turn this into the Moyes chat anyway. I'll talk about the game in a second, but it'll be really it has to come onto the team selection, because that is the minute we all saw the team, and we all actually, let's rewind slightly. Let's rewind to the game last week. We knew we were capable of doing better than what we did, but we went on the low block. It didn't work again. We've done it against.
Last week was too conservative. I said that to you and the lads, that like they were there for the taking last week. Unfortunately, I think one of Moyes' weak points is he doesn't really watch the game as it goes along. Sometimes he's not quick enough to react, and I think last week he was guilty of that. Whereas he's obviously had a week between then and now, and he's been able to react before a ball was kicked. He knows he's 1-0 down. He's got to go for it. So he went with a strong attacking team. I was surprised at how well balanced it was, the midfield, to be honest with you. But it was a lot better. And you know what? I think, obviously, we're going to talk about the players, but I think a lot of credit's got to be given to Antonio, because he hasn't played well this season. That was probably his best performance, for a long, long time. And he scared them in that first half.
There was a lot. I said it during the watch along. There was quite a lot of players' individual performances that really stood out tonight. But I think we've got to give a huge amount of credit to Antonio, because everything you've said there, it's not been a great season for him. But then equally, though, when you play like that and you have those 3 players in behind you, it gives you the ability to do, simple job for him, which is hold up the ball and wait for a player to come in. You do that, then you've got the fans on your side, and you're doing your job for the team.
Yeah.
The problem that's the difference between Jared Bowen up top and Antonio up top. And like you said, mate, he was causing them problems. I think at one point in the first half, he chased a kind of crap ball, won the header, took it down to the corner,
Yep.
skipped by the player, knocked it in, and could have should have put it at the back of the net. Could have should have walked away with a hat trick tonight from
Yeah,
that
he should have
very,
done.
very, very, very easy chance. And people in the chat in the Wells in the first half were saying that Kudus's attacking game in the first half wasn't great. However, what he was doing in that first half was being our defender. He was his defensive ability is just it's through the roof. His work rate's through the roof, isn't it?
It actually worked well because obviously Creswell isn't the defender he was, 3-4 years ago. So they knew that he was going to need help with that cover, and Kudos did it perfectly, especially in that first half. It was brilliant the way he kept coming back and intercepting the ball. His first goal was as a result of him, nicking the ball, and yeah, mate, what a goal! What's a goal?
I can't. I mean, that goal, in the second half, he's deserved walking away with a brace. But do you know what? Just as a whole, there was such a better unity, even in the first half. The energy, the drive, the pressing from the front was doing everything that sometimes we see that happens with West Ham. We weren't punting the ball forward and then losing it instantly. We were forcing them to do that. And that's, I suppose, the frustration coming from the fans. And that then makes this whole topic of conversation really topical, because now you get a performance like that. Then you get the second half against Burnley like that. And we've got so many now clear-cut examples of if you do that, you will cause teams problems.
Yep.
I understand to a certain extent. Sometimes you can't do it all the time, and sometimes it doesn't work. But
Look, the commentators annoyed me a little bit tonight. They kept bringing the Burnley result up and whatnot. And yeah, you can't do it against every team. And I respect that you maybe can't do it against the City and a Liverpool. Yeah, but like, come on, when you're coming up against teams like Burnley, and if you're coming up against a team like Freiburg, they're no slouch in the Bundesliga, but we're better than them. Yeah, they're the games where he's got to be braver. He's just got to be braver, and he's just got to go, right, let's just have a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would rather, I've always said this, I would rather us lose playing on the front foot than lose a shitty 1-0 with one shot on target. Like, I would rather we had a go. If we lose 3-2, but you've had 10 shots and you've seen a fair share of the ball, fair enough, you've had a go. But I fucking hate it when he sets in, especially against mediocre teams, and we barely see any of the ball, and we might lose a game. Like, we've dropped points against Sheffield United and Burnley this year in the league because he hasn't just gone for it. So it was refreshing to see that he's looked at it, he's gone, we are 1-0 down, this is important, and he had a go. And they had a go right to the end and all, still sticking corners in on the 88th minute of 5-0 up. So,
and isn't it funny though, when you make the Paquetá sub, Paquetá's fucking raging.
God,
this is the things that we call for though every week. Like, you've got a 2 or 3 goal cushion, there's 20 minutes to go, bring your best players off. We do it, we're all happy, but the fucking player is going. It's as if we're getting beat 6-0 and we're needing his outlet. And he's done, and even the commentators, and fair play to them, like, well done, Moyes. Well done, fucking David Moyes. Protect your asset, protect your player, protect your creative player. And Paquetá's reaction was, do you know what? I love it. Well,
it just shows he cares, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shows he cares, shows he was having fun. So yeah, it is good. And I think one of the big things as well is clean sheet.
Huge, mate.
Which is massive.
And again,
I can't remember the last time we kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, well, this was a really good performance for defensive duties for West Ham, but I've got to give the credit tonight to Zuma and Mavropanos. Now, again, I'm not going to blow trumpets up. At the end of the day, Zuma won every header with ease tonight. They were starting to try and throw the kitchen sink, but they could never really get any form of penetration through in our defence. Creswell has had to come in under probably a little bit of pressure, under a little bit of scrutiny, considering how well Emerson's been.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Creswell, I think he's actually done all right.
Yeah. Got himself a goal tonight.
Got himself a goal. And those balls whipped in, those corners, and that's what led to the first goal. You can see how dangerous he can be. I'm not saying we have to rely on a Creswell, but what's good, Dan, is that we've recognised that Creswell's not our number one left back.
Mm-hmm.
But you and me are okay with him being in the squad and being there as the backup.
Exactly. Yeah.
A bit like Antonio, a bit like now we need to watch, not to get too carried away, but equally respect what he's done. But if you play Antonio with the support mechanism, the creativity, the penetration, he will give you a performance like that from now till the end of the season. He will.
Yeah, yeah. See the thing is, JWP needed dropping today as well because he hasn't played well in recent weeks. He hasn't, and so he needed dropping today. But yeah, I feel sorry for him a little because he's been utilised very differently now to how he was at the beginning of the season. So I do feel for him a bit. But he's still going to be a weapon off the bench. He's still going to be a massive asset, off the bench if this is how Moyes chooses to go, going forward. In the quarters, this could be interesting to see who we get now. It'll be really interesting to see who we get. But I'm just buzzing that I'm going to get to another game because I was gutted I couldn't go today.
Mate, I know. I didn't want to say it in front. I've said it in the stream, but I had tickets obviously for Freddie and me, and then just circumstances out with my control meant that we couldn't go. So I had to give tickets away today. I only found out really yesterday I couldn't go. Anyway, it's done. So I'm delighted we're through. First thing Freddie said to me was, "We're in the quarterfinals. Can we go to the game?" And I'm like, "Yes, we're in. Don't worry, we're in." So I'm dead. Do you know what? I seen AC Milan are through. I don't really care, mate. I want them. Well,
look, at the end of the day, when you get to this point, mate, you want the biggest and the best teams, didn't you? Because if you're going to win it, if you're going to win it, I'm not saying we're gonna, but if you're going to win it, and if you're going to try and win it, you're going to have to face them eventually, aren't you? So, you're going whoever you face in the final is going to be a very good team because all the teams left are very good in this competition. So, I think
what an achievement though for little old West Ham in it. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm going to keep repeating it. 3 consecutive seasons in a quarterfinal of European football. When honestly we could have laughed at our European performances in our era. Again, going back to the absolutely Astragugu, Palermo, you name it. Whatever you want to say. But we've turned it around and we've became. And again, the credit has to go to whoever the credit goes to. But by being in European competition means that the team are looked at seriously. As a competitor where they can then start to be interesting to good players, better players, better quality players. Obviously, the amount of money that we've generated from being in Europe must be quite interesting to look at those stats over the last 3 years as well. But a quarter-final, mate, I mean, fuck's sake, when you look back to us in the first season of Europa League 2 or 3 years ago, like, we would never have dreamt of even getting to the semi-final.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But to have that,
but you know what, mate? Like, obviously, we're in the hat, so we still have a chance of winning it because you're in the hat. Every team that's still in there has a chance. But this is why the league form's important, though, because there's some good teams left now. And if we don't win it, Europe has, they've proved over the last few years, is massively important for this club building. Doing well in the competition is one thing because players are going to, start looking at the club a bit differently. Like, oh, that's a bit of a prospect. That's a club I could, use in my career to potentially, even if they want to use this as a stepping stone. Which, if you really think about it, Paqueta is. Because I don't think he'll be here next year. I think he'll go in the summer for good money. There are going to be the odd player that he's going to use like that. But if you get a season or two out of them, then does it really matter? Especially if you're going to be playing consistently in Europe. So yeah, it's just interesting, mate. We always play better in Europe. Always played better in Europe under Moyes. I just wish he could translate that to the league. That's all I would say. That's the only thing I'm going to say coming out of this is just translate this style of football. It's not giving a shit and just have a go in the league a bit more.
If you are watching, I want you to all please congratulate Dan. Recently become a father again for the second time.
Oh, mate, 5 days ago.
5 days ago. 5 days ago. So please, if you are watching, congratulate Dan again. Like I said, the birth of his little baby boy.
Yeah.
And he's
we had him all registered and everything yesterday, mate.
There you go. So he's official.
He is official. Yeah, he's officially, West Ham as well. So
he's officially West Ham as well. We will be going live to the London Stadium in due course in a second. Let me just jump through the comments here. Just a few of them. Romulus completely agrees so far. Crazy. Gutted for you, Matai. I'll always be Moyes out. Here you go. Won't be Rangers in the next round from usual suspect. Kudus missed a couple of chances, but I think that just made him more hungry to get a goal. But do you know what? By missing those chances, his defensive work tonight was just through the roof as well. Alan Dunn says, totally agree about Kudus boys. He's a fantastic all-round player. Hope we can keep him for a few years. Duke's in the house. Huge thank you, Anton. And don't you worry about that, Duke, mate. Thank you very much for the kind donation. Right, let's bring him in. He's live from the London Stadium.
And I'm going to let you and Rusty take a...
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I need to go and help out. I've been sat watching football.
All right, okay.
All right. See you later,
Cheers,
mate.
Take it easy.
Bye,
Cheers,
mate.
Dan. Right, I'll jump. Let's jump. London Stadium. Here he is. On you go, Russ.
Hey. Hello. You got Al as well.
Oh, go on, Alex. Go on you go. Talk to each other. Go.
Mate, that was brilliant. Amazing, wasn't it? It was.
Russ, let's see Alex's face. Alex's face.
Sorry.
Why can't we see that more often?
It's incredible when someone with the number 10 on the back of his shirt plays as a number 10. It's incredible.
It works really well.
It's a very novel idea.
I know. We should try it.
Moyes is a tactical master there. Mate, we smashed that today.
We did.
Absolutely smashed that.
We did, absolutely. And that's exactly what we needed, though. We didn't need a nice, nervy...
Nah.
We needed a solid, professional performance, and it's exactly what we got.
Quick goal, at the beginning, and then obviously the second, and I had no problem then. No, I was more than happy with that then.
And I don't think there was a bad performance on the pitch. I thought.
Russ, I'd like to ask Alice about Antonio.
I think everyone really gave their all today.
Yeah. What about Antonio? And what's asked about Antonio?
I thought he was brilliant. I think that was the Antonio of old. He was holding up the ball really well.
He had the bit between his teeth, didn't he? He seemed to have it today.
He was showing that strength that he suits the Europa League so well.
Yeah.
Because there's so many teams that are not used to that kind of strength
from
a player.
Yeah.
So Antonio really suits it really well. And it was great to see Chris
Redemption for Frankfurt.
I know, he needs another one.
Yeah. He's another one.
And Kudus as well. That first goal.
Kudus' work rate today was incredible.
One of my criticisms of him over the last few weeks has been his finishing. I thought he just needed a goal. And then, we would see the best of him again. We got the best of him again today.
Oh, it's awesome,
we really did.
Alvarez misses the next game, though, from his yellow card.
I understood why he needed to come off.
Yeah.
We didn't want to risk it. Alvarez got that yellow card.
That's what as Anton was saying, obviously he misses the first leg. Hopefully it's away to make such an issue.
Hopefully it's away and hopefully it's against someone who's not Liverpool, AC Milan or Leverkusen.
What about AC Milan? I don't want Leverkusen Liverpool.
No. Now it's no. Because with Alvarez in the side, I'll be like, I reckon we can hold into a draw. But without Alvarez, I'll worry.
We've got Calvin Phillips. What are you moaning about?
Yeah.
Go enjoy the rest of your pint.
Yeah, anyway, right.
Don't forget, TikTok Tuesdays about. TikTok Tuesdays.
I sent you that video.
Right, yeah. All right. No, cheers, man.
Things you love to see. What a performance, Rusty B. What a performance!
Where was that? Where's that been all fucking season? How many times has it was the right performance at the right time. Do you know what I mean? We had to go out from the traps. We had to go on the front foot. He's set up to do that as well. With obviously Antonio playing up front, with dropping JWP, bringing on, obviously Paqueta in a number 10 role, having a striker, having two wingers. It ain't fucking hard football, is it? It's not fucking rocket science. You have a striker, two fast wingers, and a 10 in the middle who creates. Two centre, you got Thomas Suchek breaking through, you got Alvarez holding the ball up. Yeah, it was a good game, and it's one that we've needed. God, did we need that?
100%. So many comments about Antonio tonight performing to the highest level. And do you know what? At the end of the day, if you support someone like Antonio, you're going to get a performance like that. Because one of the biggest things I said to Dan beforehand was his hold-up play was really good. But when you've got the creative players in and around him, like you can hold that up, feed it into Paqueta, hold it up, feed it into Kudus, hold it up and feed it into Bowen. Then you run like a maniac. And he was strong. He was back to, as we've said, COVID, the COVID Antonio. Again, I'm not trying to be too up their arses, but at the end of the day, Russ, we called it against Freiburg. You know what? We feel comfortable if we turn up with the right team and the right formation, we will beat them. And we've shown that tonight. And that's what we as fans are crying out for. And what I found really interesting, we cannot judge Freiburg for being a crap team. They're not a crap team. Like they are a respectable team in the Bundesliga who held recently some of the biggest teams in the league to some decent results. Beat West Ham, obviously, last time out at home. albeit I don't think they should have, but they did. And then we've turned it round, Russ, and we've smashed them. And we're now in a quarter-final, Russ. Are you ready for this one? 3 consecutive seasons, mate.
Yeah, exactly. It's mental, isn't it? It's mental. But we have always said that the way we play is suited to European football. The way Moyes plays, very patient. Today was totally different. There was part of the game where he sort of caught, he sort of maybe let still have next round. Freiburg a little bit too much of the ball at times. But look, 5-0. Usually, these types of scores flatter you. I don't think 5-0 flattered us really today. I'll be honest. I thought we were worthy of a 5-0 against this side today. We were really good. Really good. We had, as I said, like Kudus's just effort. Kudus's, tracking back. The amount of times he won the ball off their left back or their right back, phenomenal. And the goals we scored today, they were all, apart from maybe Paqueta's goal, which is a little bit fortunate, but I think it was a trading ground, short corner routine looked like. Apart from that, all the goals were really good. Really good goals. Cresswell's goals.
Can I just bring to your attention something I find really interesting? So the possession for the full game, right, was 61% possession to Freiburg. West Ham had 39% possession. I'm going to look into this a little bit further because this is also very interesting what I'm about to bring to your attention. The passes was, they had 557 passes to West Ham's 355. The biggest thing I'll notice about their passes and their possession was, look at this stat. Their keeper touched the ball 62 times, Russ.
Yeah.
He made 57 passes in this game. Fabianski touched the ball 37 times and only made 31 passes. So if you want to build your possession from your own 18-yard box, then so fucking be it. Yeah,
I mean, it didn't feel like a 61% possession to them. That made sense. Because because when they had the ball, it wasn't hurting us. It was mainly in their half. We let them have it. And then we were really clinical today. And again, that's something we haven't been able to say for a while, but really clinical. How many, I think we probably had about half a dozen shots on target the whole game, and we scored with 5 of them. It was a really good professional job. It wasn't a scrappy 2-0. We looked comfortable. I thought we looked comfortable after 10 minutes. I think, from as soon as the Paqueta goal went in, the crowd seemed to go, we can carry on there and go forward. So once that first goal was in, it really did seem, how many, I thought, to be honest. But look, it's great. We're in the hat. There's going to be some big teams in there. Obviously we can enjoy the 8 o'clock kickoffs. I quite like this 5:45 job here, but I
knew you were going to say. Do you know what? I was waiting for you to say that. Everyone's congratulating Dan, of course, for becoming a dad again. There you go. Just put all those up as well. Kudus did the damage through the centre, not the wing. But do you know what, though, Garino? He did the damage in terms of scoring goals through the centre, but when he was on the wing, his all-round football play today, I mean, his stats defensively are absolutely phenomenal. Every single game he plays. Yeah.
Brilliant.
He's absolute. Yeah. Let me just have a look here and see if I can bring them up for you just now while we're having a little old chinwag on the phone. He was accurate with 100% of his long ball attempts. He won 50% of his ground duels. He had 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, made 4 successful tackles in that game today as well. Russ is just pumped. Dave Everett says, the team and the attitude we've been crying out for, no Moyes out if we play like that. Let's have a look here. West Ham are massive wherever we go. I'm going to put you on and I'll read the comments out just so people can see you in the London Stadium because they'll like to see that. Russ on the Kudus still. The beast is unleashed. He scared the life out of them. Kudus' first goal was mustard. That was why people were so pissed off with Moyes. David too. Often we get Burnley. First half shit tonight was superb though. Even Phillips couldn't fuck it up tonight. That's the entire reason we brought Phillips. One more year, David Moyes. Every player should be proud of that performance, but credit to the man of the match, Mo Kudus. He worked his arse off. Alvarez disappointing, couldn't keep his head. I love the mad Mexican. He plays 100% no matter what you want from that captain. That is a good point there, actually, Russ. Is Alvarez our next captain?
No, too hot-headed for me. I think he's a bit too hot-headed. He's
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, but
but I'm all right with that.
Yeah, but there's no point having a captain who's going to miss half a dozen games through suspension. That's what I'm
all right with that.
All right,
I'm all right with that.
But then again, we do have.
We had a captain. We had Mark Noble.
But then but he never used to get. He wasn't out every game, every season. But at the moment, we do have a captain who like misses half a season through injury. For me, at the moment, well, a lot of the season he gets injured. Zuma does. For me, at the moment, honestly, that press conference, Thomas Suchek came across as phenomenal, as a really, really well thought out. I'm not saying Edson might be able to calm down a little bit. So this is his first season in the Premier League. He might calm down a little bit, and then I think you'll be all right. Then
I thought Tommy Suchek thrived tonight.
Yeah,
thrived tonight.
That's what I think the last 3-4 games.
He thrived touching the ball 38 times in the game.
I thought he is, and you can't, and he got another assist today. He got another assist. He's 1 goal away from equaling his best return at West Ham, which was the first full season when he scored 10 goals. He's got 9 goals already. We've still got 11 Premier League games left. A couple more games of hopefully of Europe. He could easily surpass what he did last year in 2010-2011 season. I think he's I think the last 3 or 4 games you've seen a different Tommy Suchek than we had previously, for sure. He's been absolutely mustard, I thought.
Spot on, Anton. Mo Hilkner as well. No end. He was getting the ball up on the counter. Fantastic performance, lads. Overjoyed. We are fucking massive. Feather in the cap would be Soufal's first ever goal. So close. Russ, when's the draw for the next round?
Tomorrow. I think it's either 11 or 12. But we'll be on. Cool. We'll sort it out. We'll be. I've already. I didn't mean.
I know. I've seen it. I've seen it.
I'd already set it all up.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah. Ever the confident.
Anton, where do you think we are in the league if we played that 11 in that setup all season? Brian, I don't really know because I don't know if it is. I don't know if it works. I think. Right. Listen, I think if we had played that way, let me see if I can bring myself on. If we had played that particular, where's this comment from Brian Flowers? I think if we'd played that way against Sheffield United, we'd have 2 more points. Absolutely. If we played that way against Burnley in the first half, we'd have 2 more points. Absolutely. And I think maybe another performance in the league throughout the year. And I think if you take other teams, so I think if you chop and change it, I genuinely believe that. I think you go at every team at every occasion possible. But I think if you do, I would have been happier 6 or 8 points ahead of where we're at just now. And I think if we played that way against certain teams, we would be 8 or 9 points ahead of where we are right now. I genuinely believe that.
Totally
I think we've made mistakes against. I think we've made mistakes against Sheffield United. We've made mistakes against Burnley. The certain opposition we've made mistakes against. But I don't think you're ever really going to stop Arsenal at home.
No, I totally agree. I think a lot of the wins we've got this year have been Moyes shithousing. It has been the Moyes ball. But you're right. There's certain. I think we'd be at least 4 points better off if we played this when appropriate. I mean, you look at gung ho. You look at yesterday. You look at Luton. Luton went all out, and they're 3-0 up. They lost 4-3. That's what would happen for us. We'd probably win. We'd probably score lots of goals, but occasionally it will get pinned back. So I just think it just frustrates a lot of fans how we can't play like this at the right times. You can't play this every week, this style. You can't. And the best managers do have to shithouse results just occasionally. Unless you're a Man City or a Liverpool, you have. That's just the nature of football. But yeah,
we've been you, Russ, every day. Clara and Booz will be in mourning.
They won't. They're all West Ham fans. They'll be loving it just as much as everyone because we're all West Ham fans. There's no what side of the fence we're in.
We are. If Moyes led to set up, if Moyes led to set up and play, what is it here? There'd be no Moyes out.
I think there would be. I think there still would be. there's still people who wouldn't like a certain type of people. No, you won't get 100% approval rate for a manager unless you are Pep Guardiola at the moment, or you're even like look at Mikel Arteta. There was a period this season where they wanted Nick Arteta out, and we all laughed. So there will always be, I think, a group who don't like the manager because, and I guarantee, even if we played this way, there'll be a couple of times where we'd get turned over, we'd be 2 up, 3 up, and end up drawing or losing, and people go, "Oh, why don't you just like go a bit defensive for the end?" So you'd have to get an even balance to get a side which will be more appreciative by a greater fan base in terms of the manager.
Russ, I am going to hand over to you to close this stream down. I'm not going to leave. I'll be in the background, but I'll just the final word, and everyone can have a look at the background.
Yeah, there we go. That's just it's an extender. There we go. Lots of happy fans. Surprisingly more than I thought was going to come into it. When I turned up, I thought originally we'd be lucky to see if we had like 40,000, but there was a lot of people there. At the end, and yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for the quarterfinal of the Europa.
Let you know,
League.
Peter, they've actually scored again. It's actually 2-0 and it's only 7 minutes played. So Liverpool are beating.
Liverpool will be in the draw. Yes. Yeah. But yes, all good. I
was just going to say, join us later on. We'll have quite a few reaction videos coming out on the channel. It's going to be something we're going to try and do moving forward if we can. So I'll put up a couple of reaction videos. Join us, obviously, tomorrow morning. And then in preparation, we'll have the draw. We'll have another lunchtime live. We'll get prepared for the Aston Villa game. We'll have the press conference. We'll have the Hammers headlines. Hopefully, we'll have Irish Tommy back again tomorrow evening. And then we are now fully focused on Aston Villa. Last 16. We've done the last 16. We're in the quarterfinals. And yeah, let's do it, Russie B. Russie B, your one-word review. Go.
Massive. Everywhere we go.
Right, everyone, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Much love. Come on, you irons. Yes.